Growing up, breast and ovarian cancer played far too much of a role for me. I was very close with my grandmother. She was like a second mom to me, and she had battled ovarian cancer. She had flown around the country doing experimental treatments that are now saving lives. And unfortunately, at 48 years old, she lost her battle to ovarian cancer. My mother was diagnosed the first time at 31 with breast cancer. I was 11 at the time. So that was the second cancer bout I had dealt with as a child. And she was offered a lumpectomy, and she went with it because she didn't have genetic testing, so she didn't know that a full mastectomy would be a better treatment plan for her. So after 8 years in remission, she was actually diagnosed again on the opposite side with a completely different strand of breast cancer. That recurrence could have been avoided if she had known that she was BRCA positive. My cousin was actually the youngest diagnosis in my family. She was only 25 years old, and she lost her battle at 31, leaving 2 small children behind. And that has always kind of rang in my head as a deadline for me, turning 25 years old. So at 22, I was a young single mom, getting my life together. My daughter was just 4 years old at the time. And I couldn't imagine not being there for her or having her have to miss out on her childhood worrying about cancer, worrying about her mom. So I had to do something about that, and I decided to be tested for the BRCA gene mutations because I needed to know, and I knew that there'd be one or of 2 things that could happen. Either I could ease my fears and stop worrying, or I would have access to preventative options and I could be proactive about it and do something. So when I got my results, I found that I am BRCA1 positive, and I immediately stomped next door to my mother's surgeon's office and basically expected him to pull out his schedule and pick a day and book my surgery right then and there. And that's not the reaction that I got. He wasn't too helpful. He was very concerned that I was so young. I was only 22. I was not married yet, and I wanted more children. I pled my case to him because he needed to understand that if a man didn't love me because of scars that I had no business being with him. And I needed to be alive for my children, not breastfeed them. And it was when I finally found a surgeon who was compassionate about those things, understanding about my situation and my concerns at my age, and who was frankly quite blunt with me about the situation at hand. And that was exactly what she asked me, can I be blunt? And I said, somebody please, finally. And she basically told me she would catch it early and I would have a good survival rate, or we could say game on and take care of it now. So I immediately said game on. I was the youngest patient at 23 that she had ever performed a prophylactic bilateral mastectomy on. And it was because of finding her I was able to make that decision and become a previvor. And today I am 25 years old. I can say that I beat my deadline. My fiance, my daughter, and I are expecting a new baby this coming July. And I got all of the things that I was told I wouldn't get if I went through with surgery. And now we have a future to look forward to, and the worrying is over.